we need to communicate. We need to evolve, to transform. We need to create, to collaborate, to disrupt, to listen to each other, to use technology to solve problems. We need to innovate. Sander here from Advisor.tv, and joined with me is Mitch Greenwald, CEO of Cloudbakers. So hello.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So we're going to just jump right in, and I want you to give me a little bit background of Cloudbakers.
Okay. So Cloudbakers is a cloud service brokerage. We're located, headquartered in Chicago. We have an office in Denver also, and we help mid-market companies migrate to and fully embrace the cloud. We do it through a number of different pieces, but we are working mostly with software basis, where we help companies adapt new software, new technologies, migrate over to the cloud, and really help them with the technical side. But really, our biggest differentiator is that we actually help them adapt to the change and change behavior through a very in-depth change management program.
So how are companies adapting to the cloud nowadays?
So it's kind of interesting. We've actually helped over 400 mid-market companies throughout the United States, and actually throughout the world, do this. And it seems like there's a really interesting design pattern that has happened through the course of what we've seen. And they basically do it in 3 stages. We see them actually using commodity applications that really don't actually offer a competitive advantage in their current state, move over messaging and collaboration solutions. So whether you're using Google Apps or Office 365 and using those, migrating over to those systems, is just like a low risk, high reward first step into the cloud. And then we see them building on that, doing business process optimization, doing CRM solutions, maybe moving accounting systems over, work management systems over, workflow, reporting, business processes. That makes them pretty ubiquitous for them. And then kind of the third level is actually taking that and building their special sauce into the cloud through application development and integration, things that differentiate a company, whether it's their mobile workforce management, whether it's the way they do quoting, whether it's their service delivery model, that makes them unique to do that. And it's kind of interesting to see that 1, 2, 3 pattern with the messaging collaboration, business process optimization, application development and integration, and they could jump in at any of those phases and move up the chain there. And it's kind of interesting that we don't really have this repeating business model where you just pay us all the time. We kind of like to go in, add the business value, go out, and then they'll call us when they have the next thing going on, or we'll help them strategically and advise them. And it's very interesting to see that they follow this pattern very, very frequently.
And what are the benefits of following this pattern? What are the benefits of even leveraging the cloud?
Well, so the benefits of following this, I think the pattern is kind of evolutionary, not revolutionary, if you will. And that whole thing is people are resistant to change. They're resistant to risk in a lot of ways. People don't like pain, and they want to figure out how to do this and be productive without losing productivity. So kind of that evolutionary approach kind of enables all that, so people can do it risk-free, can be fairly painless, and they can keep their productivity levels up to where they need to be. And so the advantage of doing it, following a pattern like this or following that way of doing it, is it is a step-by-step guide in doing that, and it makes common sense that, okay, do step A, step B. It's like, if you want to say building a bridge to an island or something like that, you can't necessarily get to the island until you actually put some of the infrastructure in place, put the concrete out there, make sure it's safe, do the engineering behind it, and doing all that.
So I heard risk, and a lot of people are very nervous about moving things to the cloud. So how do the benefits outweigh the risk? What are some of the challenges that you even see companies having?
So it's very interesting piece. Some of the benefits are hard to make tangible to people because they realize that I can't tell you how many clients that we've gone live with that 6 months later they go, wow, I didn't realize what a differentiator this was going to be, how it's going to be transform our business. But and those are usually like liberating events for them, where they can work on their iPad, they can work on their iPhone, they can work on an Android device, they can work on a Mac, a PC, they can work on a home computer, they can work on the computer at work. They don't have to be lugging something around because their files are on the client piece. And then the other piece is that there's a collaboration piece, that people could work better together using these technologies, that they could actually be editing a document at the same time. They could do a progressive engagement, whether it goes from an email to a chat to a video conference really easily to a document. And those are things that are kind of hard to show that the productivity benefits. But the some of the hardcore things that they look at, they go look at security. So we believe in a go big or go home type philosophy. We partner with Google and Microsoft. These people have thousands of infrastructure engineers just working on the security of their system. We go after the mid-market companies, and mid-market companies might have 2 people, they might have 10 people, they might have 50 people on their IT staff, but they at most have 1 or 2 people focusing on their security. So you get the benefit of all these really smart people, these really smart processes focused on the security. But people quite often don't want to give up control of their systems, and so they have to take this leap of faith, if you will, to go over and move to a cloud-based system where these people like Google and Microsoft are really securing their systems for them. But that leap of faith, people just don't do a leap of faith like that. You still have to, look at the contracts. You have to go through the security reviews. You have to see the types of processes they have in place or technology that they have in place and how they support that with their processes too. So those are things that are really important. You have to look at their terms and conditions, that their uptime, their SLA, service level agreements. So those things, once you do the research, you go, okay, this makes a lot of sense. And my background is a former CIO for a mid-market company, the type we target right now, and I had to go through all this, and I started doing the research on cloud solutions, both technically to make sure it worked, operationally to make sure we can maintain them, and then also financially, and it just made so much sense that I went off and found a Cloudbakers to do those exact same things for other mid-market companies. So you still have to do your homework to do that, but I think that is something that people are more accepting to now, and now it's become more of instead of why would I move to the cloud, it's how do I move to the cloud?
Right.
And the conversation has changed dramatically to do that. The other thing is that you talked about risk and making it painless, making it productive day one. That changing human behavior is a really interesting thing, and I would have thought you were kind of blowing smoke if you told me this 10 years ago. But one of the most eye-opening things to me, working at Cloudbakers, has been that the change management or the softer skills or bringing the human element to technology has been really, really, really important. And having an aggressive change management program that takes into marketing internally, takes into training, kind of a drip campaign so people could just slowly acquire the knowledge has been key. And it's kind of interesting to see when it's executed correctly. And executing correctly means we have executive buy-in, we have IT ownership, where they follow our change management program. That when we go live on these new systems, where in the past it's been very chaotic on a go live date, it's actually very quiet, and people go, "How do I hook up my cell phone to do this?" And it's really rewarding to see that, and it's been very interesting to see that the actual bringing the human element to technology is really a very, very valuable component.
Great. Well, last question.
Okay.
Is what is the future of this industry? So the future of the cloud. I mean, if you could look at 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, or even, next year in this ever-changing world, what do you see as the future? What could it be?
Well, I think, it's kind of interesting that they, talk about the big trends in technology, whether it's social media, whether it's mobile, whether it's big data, cloud, analytics are huge. All these things are huge. What's interesting about the cloud technology, and cloud has become an overused buzzword, for better or for worse. Maybe that's a good thing, actually. But all those technologies that we're talking about actually have as an underpinning cloud. So it's actually not even, right to say cloud in that, because it's really the applications on top of it, whether it's your mobile, whether it's your social, your analytics that you're using, the different software platforms. But they're all underlying cloud. So I think cloud is just going to be more and more invasive as far as companies go, and people now, the chasm has been crossed basically. People are now adopting to it, and the conversation has changed. The other big thing that's coming on is the Internet of Things, whether you're using a Fitbit to track how many steps you're using, or your Fitbit right there, right? Or whether your refrigerator gives you an alarm, or else you're using a Nest for your thermostat to track, to turn off up and down your heat when you're not at home. That's going to become more and more pervasive too. So things are going to just get to be more and more connected. One of the reasons I think is also, people are so connected. I see everybody walking around looking at their cell phones all the time. They're trained, they're not interacting with each other. And I think that it's also really important to get that downtime too. So when you get away, we're firm believers of this, when you get away from work, that you let people let them be disconnected, let them, relax, breathe in a little bit, and to get a different perspective too. So.
Great.
Okay.
Well, thanks so much for coming out, taking the time to walk over here. And what's your website? Where can people find you?
Cloudbakers.com. So you go over there to take a look. Feel free to reach out. You'll have a human answer the phone with us. We like to talk. We like to be solution focused for people. No solution fits everybody. So everybody has a unique business, and we realize that, and we tailor our systems to make sure that's the case.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.